are no teachers. You go to the church, there are no preachers. You go to your house, there's no one home. You realise that you're all alone. You hear the people all around, but no one hears your silent sound. You wonder if you're really there. Take off your clothes. The people stare. Okay, so they can see you naked, but they fail to see that life is sacred. Your body, it seems, in form organic, yet many on another planet. Be sure not to look into their eyes, because they ain't ready for that. Be wise. Act stupid or else attack the vicious. Jealous peeps can be malicious. Pick and mix a random ego. Stupid dumb, not wild free flow. Weave right in with all your peers. Act hard, but do not face your fears. Then when you walk into their ghost town, act like you know, fake all the lowdown. When in Rome, you know the lyrics, but don't forget there are no limits. Discard their idle small town nonsense, and never forget original conscience. Take a lake and take reflection. Deflate your fake ego erection. Beware, the current can take you easy. The truth sometimes can make you queasy. Many will get taken under, like slaughtered sheep, their death by numbers. To make it, you must stand like steel, rooted, though your lips are sealed. Speak only to soulmates, insiders. Speak babble, bona fides. When you see the lion sleeping, exit quick or take more beatings. This path is full of tribulations. No one stands as confirmation. Your dreams on hold, your heart is aching. Your life spent playing games and waiting. Religiously, you hold your center. Really, you know life's an adventure. Although it has you in confusion, this matrix, just a grand illusion. Come through untouched. Recall that ego, a temporary, tailored, heavy kilo weight, the solely preservation. Inside that suit, your emanation, pristine and bright, untouched, so virgin, a soul newborn, a birth emerging. Underneath the mask is beauty, an unconditional love, no duty. Perception of this world much bolder. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Know it in your heart, no question. The ones with blindness, you just gotta bless them. Now you're naked, free, full of wonder, your eyes dilated, free of slumber. Help the others remove their clothing. No judgment, no hatred, no loathing. Underneath, we're all the same. Our skin and bones a mere soul frame. Although it's hard to believe words like this, we each are made within God's likeness. The goddess knows that life is sacred. So if you know this too, get naked.
Because it must matter. Just like religion was designed to keep people under control, so too perhaps the gravity science, Einsteinian science of relativity and so on, has been designed to keep us in a cage, in a mental cage, to stop us from discovering the truth about this place and about yourself. Water is black, agua. Okay. But if you take the formula, you realize that it's 8 inches in the mile squared, which means by 10 miles, it's 60 foot linear.
It depends on the length of the wave, on the entire size. Like when I have a small ball, I can see the curve. Exactly, I can see the entire ball. When I can't even see a little bit of the ball, just like not even 1 foot.
Well, this lady here, this young lady, told me that she can go to the see a ship go over As far as I'm sure, he knows that the Earth is an electromagnetic system, that we live inside of an ether, and that ether has been banished by modern science because it doesn't suit their narrative. because the ether is turning. This thing that we're in is turning very, very slowly. It's turning. The stuff above us is turning, but the ground not turning. And when you were 5, 10 years, 8 years old, and the teacher said to you, "Oh, Earth is spinning," you're just too small
when
to
you
know
are
it.
on the ground, okay. But when you're on the ground, you can't feel that the ground is turning.
Of course.
No, you can't.
Yes.
You can't.
No, we can't. Of course, we can't feel the ground turning.
Yeah.
We feel like we're not moving,
But,
right?
but even if it's moving, we can't feel it.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? It's like we're told when we're too young, when we believe in Santa Claus, right? We're also told that the Earth is spinning, you just can't feel it. But I don't know if you realize this. When they do a rocket launch, they quite quickly move from seeing something real, something making a lot of noise, taking off from a launch pad. They move to a CGI version of this rocket. That's their own admission.
It has to be like super powered CGI because you can't tell the difference.
Have you heard of a movie that Sandra Bullock was in? It was called Gravity.
Gravity.
Yeah. Now Gravity, she really looks like she's in space. Would you agree?
Yeah, it depends. I don't know what space looks like.
Okay. Well,
And this is Earth, and this is the curvature.
Okay.
It went up pretty up. I don't know, like 27 kilometers. This is not outer space.
yeah.
It's the space. It's if you go up.
Yeah.
What you will see.
Do you think that does that fall back to Earth?
And it's there.
Within the Earth's gravity and stuff like that, it can't be in the vacuum of space. Otherwise, it would
wasn't
just
in the
fly
vacuum.
away. And,
It
okay.
haven't.
So I got no problem with 20K. When we make this argument, or when we hold this view that the column of air is moving with me,
Yeah.
then there should be forces associated with that. You know, it's like saying, like, if you and I were walking across the square and there was a 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing towards us, we would be struggling to walk into that. But your friends who are walking in the opposite direction, they'd be running faster than Usain Bolt. Yes? And this is one of the fallacies that come with the globe Earth belief, that this idea that the column of air above me is all moving with me. Aeroplanes don't have to account for it. A pilot who's flying, say, on a north-south heading doesn't have to account for the wind on his side, depending on which direction he's flying. We have smacked the heck out of Munich today. The Earth is flat, my dear. Look to us. The Earth is flat, not a globe. NASA is faking space. They are deceiving the hell out of you. Say, what a fantastic day!
What a fantastic day,
What a
man!
fantastic day! Earth is flat! Earth is flat, my friends. The NASA is lying to you. So we have had a brilliant day, and I think it's time to head off. Jack has been unbelievably smacking here. Unbelievably. And how about you? Have you had a really...
I had a really good conversation with the guy at the end.
Oh,
Well, I had a
fantastic.
conversation with him too.
Sorry, I didn't get to talk
I
to
had,
him.
yeah, I had to hand over to Lisa for the technical bits, but he was really, really open-minded.
Yeah, he asked lots of questions and I gave him lots of answers and he was really intrigued.
Fantastic. No, we've had some really good conversations here in Munich today. I found people a lot more receptive than that's on my report.
Except
Yeah.
for the guy that gave the coin. What did he say?
Yeah, the guy with the coin, he said, "This is great comedy. Where's your hat? I want to put a coin in." Well, we'll put that euro into the kitty, and hopefully it'll go well. Anyway, what a fantastic day. We're going to be doing the wrap-up later on at 11 o'clock our time, which is 10 o'clock English time, and whatever time you are in the world. You understand time zones better than the Globers. We should say goodbye. Thank you very much. And keep it flat.
How awesome was that? Welcome back to the Globali Euro Tour live update with myself, Jason of the Disbury, the amazing Dave Mannell, the gorgeous Andrea, the amazing Alexander the Great, Jack and Lisa, right there on the Globali famous camper van that I reckon we're approaching at least 1 million people having seen that camper van since it left the UK. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. What an amazing day. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. We've got Estonia tuned in. Shout out to Tamo Lurberg. We've got Effie Mary, Brian Staveley, Kieran Franey, Cold Steel Truth. Shout out to National Memorial Gardens. Lovely to see you here, Ricardo Montevallo. Dr. LA, Critical Inception. Looks like we've got an International Awareness Day going on, simultaneous USA and European awareness going on. They've got a massive awareness drive looking to happen at the flea market on Saturday. So they're in the chat room. If you are within vicinity of them, please go and check for them on Saturday. If you're within a 90-minute drive or something, the more the better. It seems like a pretty good lot of people are going out there. So shout out to you guys in the chat room as well. Moving up the list, Robin, lovely to see you in the chat room. Steve Fowler, I have no idea what happened to your wrench. I'm gonna look into it and see if we can. I don't know how people are losing wrenches. I haven't taken any away. So Steve, I will get on that straight away. Dagon Morningstar, lovely to see you and your support in the chat room as well. Azad, lovely to see you too. Isabella, you too, my darling, lovely to see you. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to join us this evening as we catch up with everyone on the camper van. As I said, what an awesome vibe there was today. What an awesome vibe.
Yeah,
captivated. How refreshing.
It was. But what kicked this stream off right now was that UK Truth. Thank you so much, James. That was another amazing video. That was different. You starting off with a poem. I thoroughly enjoyed that. What a great idea. Fantastic that was. Thank you, James. Yet again.
Lovely.
Okay.
And sorry, shout out to individual one and the beautiful, gorgeous girly, Karen B. Mwah. And shout out to Coffee Paul and to Jude as well. Much love to you, my darlings, as well. Sorry, forgot those people.
Yeah, yeah. Where do we start?
Enough in the list. Sorry, guys. And Sven. Oh my gosh, I didn't even shout out Sven.
Is Sven here?
Sorry. Fast Teddy,
Is
Flat
he not
Ted
gone yet?
as well. No, he's not. Are you still in the UK, Sven? Jason's saying about 1 a.m. That was backstage. That was why we were backstage before we went live. He was saying about 1 a.m. Got some info on Sven. Yeah, lovely. Sorry if I've missed anyone out. I really have tried to go up the list there and make sure I've got everybody. So if I've missed you out, I will get to you. Voynich as well. Lovely to see you as well. Trevelon as well. And cheers for that. Smash the like button, everybody. Give it a like. Go on yourself, Jason.
There you go. I said that she will do a bigger shout out when she gets in, because yesterday you got nothing from me. I do apologize. Didn't shout out anyone. See, I needed a pro on the team. Guys, that was an amazing day. Yet again, where do we start? Let's start right from the beginning. Getting to Munich, I take it problem free. Are we over all of these problems getting to places? Is it getting easier?
Well, what, do you want to answer that question? Is it getting easier to get in? Yeah, easier. Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, there's a certain synergy that you start to build up. This is obviously our 7th day now. Tomorrow will be our 8th day on tour, having arrived in Venice, Dave Murphy and Adam as well. So we're getting into our groove, and well, I think the wheels are quite well greased. Of course, we've got a very competent transporter here in Jack. So yeah, good. And this morning we had a little bit of time out just to do some laundry as well. So that was a good sign. There'll be clean clothes on the stand tomorrow, which is nice to know.
So maybe we should start there, because I think just before you did your laundry, you you had this chat with these Swiss guys. Tell us about that. How did that get on? How did that happen?
Yeah, well, we crashed over at a truck stop, and as we tend to, we kind of woke up this morning, rubbed the tiredness out of our eyes, and of course, people walk past the van and they're attracted by it. So it's a great opportunity to take a few flyers out, drop a few flyers on people's laps. And I think we've done a bit of that this morning. And then this tour bus of, 30, 40 children school children comes and parks just a little bit ahead of us. And of course, as they came past me, some of them, I started offering them some truth. And one of the lads was like, I know the lad. So we had a nice quick conversation, and then sent him let him go on his way off to the coffee shop, which was about 100 yards away. And I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later, he comes back and says, "Hey, I've got a question for you. My friends," because of course, most of his friends will be ball boys. Though my friends have got a question. Well, I've got a question for you. I can't remember the question now, but then that started off a fantastic exchange that was joined by a lot of his peers, and so they got to hear this conversation with us. And then at the end of it, I don't know if I filmed all of this, but at the end of it, they went and sat by their bus, and I was chanting to them. That we were chanting to each other for a little while, going, "Oh, the Earth is flat," and a few of them were really getting up and G'd up about it. So I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall on that tour bus as they drove off, because it really. What we notice is it empowers people, as we said last night. It empowers those people who already know about it to say, "Hey, listen, buddies, listen. There's some other people here talking, and look, they're on a tour bus, man, going around talking about this." So it was a shot in the arm. It was a great little start for us this morning.
Yeah. I for what you posted, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just thought it was a fantastic exchange. I don't know. I've never told you, Roxanne. I had to phone Dave up and congratulate him on that one, because I was so inspired. I just thought it was a textbook method of actually delivering what it is that we're delivering. It was fantastic. It really was. It was
Poetry
brilliant.
emotion.
Yeah.
Poetry emotion. What a blessing.
I think what was a bonus is on the way when they were going into the coffee shop, the teachers who were on board the school tour, they actually complained that we were taking their parking spot because that was for buses and ours is not a bus. And then they went in and obviously had got their coffees and whatever. When that group came back out, the teachers weren't with them. So had they been with them, they probably would have ushered them along, because obviously it wouldn't have fitted their, their sort of.
Yeah, because I told the teacher that the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
When he came and complained about where we were parked, I'm like, yeah, but the Earth is flat. So.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't have. Well, it wouldn't have fitted in with their sort of educational curriculum. So, and it was only after they sort of moved towards the bus again that the teachers then came through. So it was like a perfect opportunity for the kids to kind of have a free moment of the day.
Open platform, yeah.
Aww.
So
I feel like it's days like that that make a difference.
Yes,
it's engagement and opportunities, encounters like that, and one, because you've given that youngster a really great shot in the arm, which reminds me about a time in Trafalgar Square where this young girl said, "Yeah, you think the Earth is flat?" She was only 12, 13 years old. You think the Earth is flat? And she ran off in Trafalgar Square whooping and yelling because she finally met somebody who could reinforce or reaffirm what she knew. So that's the one part of it, and the other is, of course, giving that person license to talk to their friends, and on this case, a tour bus and a classroom full of people who will be, compelled, some of them, to go forth and question it more deeply. So yeah, that was a real good. I mean, we woke up this morning and the sun was, at the side of the camper van was facing to the east. So the sun was rising as we opened the door, and it was warm on our face. The sky was perfectly blue. It felt like a really great morning after Liechtenstein. So we felt really, really amped up for today, and it was probably not unfounded, as I'm sure your video is attesting.
That sounds sublime. It's almost like going from the extreme to the sublime, isn't it? How many different situations you're experiencing just in a 24-hour period, going from one destination to the next. If I may ask, how 1 week in, how are you feeling about being on the camper van? Is it? I don't want to lead you with the question, but did you? It's a few questions. Did you have any expectations of what this would be like? Because you were involved in the first tour. So I know you've got mileage under your belt as far as doing this is concerned.
No, I mean, I had certain expectations, certain ideas about how it would be. So yeah, I did. And how is this shaping up 1 week in? Well, unbelievably. I mean, really, it's really, really awesome. And I mean, today we've had some brilliant days along the way, but today for me was just one of those good days in Speaker's Corner, or one of those good days on the street where you get a number of really healthy discussions to and fro, people asking questions, and that's really what it's about. That I'm conscious that I'm looking to make some useful content, some great and exciting content, and deliver something to our YouTube community, who will then spread that word wider. But also, really to make a little difference to some human beings along the way. And I think I've had that opportunity in spades over the last few days, and it just feels like, for me, I've been dusting off the rust, getting the hang of the pace of being on the bus, because it is intense, make no mistake. And I'm just kind of getting into my stride. And so, if anything, we're feeling, and I think Andrew and I are both feeling more certain of our purpose and our reason to be on the bus today than we did, yesterday or the day before.
I love that.
I think from my point of view, our point of view, we're obviously getting into sort of a groove. Alexander seems to be a little bit more settled on the bus.
He feels at home.
He kind of knows the drill now a little bit more, where we're traveling a little bit, and then he gets to have fortunately his nap seems to fall when they're all leaving the bus to go and set up, which means he can have a really good 2-hour nap. And then we go off and meet them. So there seems to be a little bit of a flow going on. But we definitely woke up this morning feeling like there'd been like a shift. Yesterday we were talking about if you retrograde and whatever. I felt today like there was a shift, and with the sun shining, it kind of felt like it was going to be a really good day, and it was. Also today we mentioned that everything kind of fell into place. We went and did our washing. We then went on to our next destination. We found parking. Everything. The police. That there was no sort of hassle with the police. So there was just so many things that kind of flowed. So it felt good. And when you have days like this, and I'm sure everybody who's been on the tour will agree. When you have a day like this, you kind of think, okay, I can do this. On the more challenging days, you think, oh, this is a bit of a slog. But you kind of have that the good and the bad, and it kind of keeps you going. But I think we're kind of after a week getting our flow going. So
getting used to showering in truck stops and
rating the showers when we come back. We'll give it a rating.
So no, it's getting smoother, and I feel like today my delivery in the field was a little bit smoother than you know what I mean. So for me, I'm like, wow, today was good, but I can I can still raise my game more. So I'm not in any hurry to jump off the bus.
Nice.
Today also, funny enough, there must be a change in energy, or maybe it was Munich, I don't know, but people were coming to us and asking us questions. I mean, after Dave had that conversation with the group of 20 students, a guy walking past to go to his car, and funny enough, at the very end of his conversation, he said, I just came and had a shit. I must go.
Just came for a shit. I've got to go now.
He ended up talking to Dave for like 20 minutes. He said, I just wanted to have a shit.
But he approached me angry as a money induction position.
I suppose everyone's got to go.
Yeah. But he came up to Dave angry and wanted to ask a question, and then left, not necessarily convinced, but was,
I told him we were brothers, you're not my brother. This is how this is how I kind of started with him. But at the end, I think I left a few little seeds that hopefully will pop up at some time.
Ah, I love this, guys. I wanted to chime in again because I've got a couple of interesting points of view in the chat room. Born Again Veteran wanted to know, where you've come to. I'm just embellishing the question a little bit, but where you've come to the truth about what this place isn't. Born Again Veteran asked, has this brought anyone to God on the camper van? Has the truth about this brought anyone closer to the creator, or the fact that,
Most definitely.
Yeah. Could any of you share that, especially for people that are just tuning in? There's genuinely some chat about it in the chat room. Quite a lot of people are resonating with that question. It'd be really nice to hear all of your points of view, if that'd be all right.
Well, this may come as a surprise to people watching this, but I have quite strong opinions. before all of this turned upside down for me, I was pretty strong atheist, so yeah, I know some people would have heard me say it took a DMT experience, pineal gland being torn open, for me to kind of, kick my ridiculous atheism into touch. But the flat Earth was the pivotal thing that really brought everything home to me. And of course, I go out there, and I think we're all going out there talking about our divinity, about the importance that we recognize the creator or this creation and our role within it, and all of that it's God level conversation. It is that there is a God and there is a purpose, a real significance to our mission, our journey, our time here. So yeah, speaking for the crew, I have to say I think we're all very much on that page. And then to have the opportunity to be involved in going out there day by day and doing all of this, I think it only reinforces that that connection.
Thank you.
I think for me, the flat Earth fits in beautifully with who I am as a divine being. There's the macrocosm and the microcosm, and when you know where you are and what it is, and that we were here for a purpose, then that connection you have with Earth and yourself and the Creator becomes that sort of unbreakable truth, really, and then you can build from that. Some people come to the truth in different ways, so it's not just a matter of finding that Earth. It's about peeling back the veils, and that for different people that's different things, but certainly the flat Earth does.
Thank you, Andrea.
And actually, one more point is that counter to that is that a lot of the resistance to flat Earth comes from atheists, or from people that totally believe in the evolution and science and so on. So for me, I have to move people through that conversation. That's not that deep. No. I have to move people through that conversation about this is much more than monkey man science. This is about good level kind of divinity, so
but
we're like preachers in a way.
Yeah, but you have to be respectful that everybody's on their own path, and they are wherever they are on that path, so you got to be respectful of that. But yeah, for us, certainly in our experience,
and Jack's a very spiritual guy anyway.
Jack, are you all right giving us your take on that? Are you all right? And thank you, Dave and Andrea, for indulging that question as well. That was specifically from someone veteran. Hold on, I just need born again veteran. That was a specific question asked by born again veteran, who really wanted to hear your feedback on that, guys. So yeah, Jack, if you're able to indulge us on that, that'd be great.
Yeah. Before the truth, I wasn't an atheist, but I also wasn't believing in God somehow. But I knew that there is something. But because I fight through the life, I just didn't question anything. I just ran for step to step, plan to plan. And when I get to the truth, of course, it reveals me everything, how it's in a way all connected, how it's operating here, all stuff. I became more spiritual, of course. Especially in the beginning, I read a lot of esoteric books because I want to know when I recognize my soul, which soul is it? It is where I come from, where I'm here, where I'm going. And the truth of the flat Earth and everything together with it is just opened my mind. And now I know that there is the Creator, because in a way it speaks to us.
Okay. See, again, thank you for indulging us on that, because as I said, there's a lot of people in the chat room that are resonating with what you're saying. And I think a lot of people are genuinely interested on your view on that as well. And I genuinely want to give a shout out to National Memorial Gardens, because I need to scroll back up because it was an ace comment from National Memorial Gardens. It's just further up here. Okay, it's on the screen now, and I'll read it out for you guys because I know it might come up a little bit small. He said, let's never forget that they are looking after a beautiful baby boy as well as doing what they do. Big shout out to mum and dad. Yeah.
Well, the whole crew is looking after Alexander, actually. He's an important member of the crew, and it's nice to see Jack, and well, we had Adam here, you know, sort of.
I've got to give a shout out to National Memorial Gardens, Dave. I was talking to him earlier on today, and he absolutely adores your ethos on parenting Alex, and he's a parent himself and has young and old children like yourself, and is absolutely in complete adoration for what you're doing. So I've got to give a shout out for his support as well, because he's constantly keeping track of what you guys are doing and watching and engaging in what you're doing. And it's not without this love and support from everybody that we would be able to do this, you know. And this is why I want to give a shout out to people like this, because these people have been there from the get-go. From, you know, as soon as people have put their head above the parapet, there's, you know, I think genuinely for every one person you see putting their head above the parapet, there's at least a dozen people behind the scenes, you know, giving them encouragement, giving them love, giving them support. And I really want to thank you all for your time, because it's, you know, I feel time is the biggest commodity. It's the one thing we can't get back. And without your time and care and attention, a lot of us wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So I thank you all for that. Sorry for chiming in there, guys.
The support in the comments section, particularly from people like Nathan in Memorial Gardens, you know, and he's been, you know, saying nice things ever since I've seen him on my channel. You know, it is so important or so valuable, particularly when you're like, you know, ostracized from other people.
Big time, Dave.
And stuff like that. And we're not the biggest of communities of people here in the flat earth activism community. So to have that and to see more of it coming in since we've been on tour, thank you very much.
Yeah, it means a lot to us. It really does. It means a lot to us.
It does. I know for a lot of people that are watching, that just sounds like words, but it is. I know it means an incredible amount, and that's why I just wanted to shine a light on it, because there is a lot of people behind the scenes that are genuinely giving a lot of encouragement and you know, supporting the people that have put their heads above the parapet by giving words of encouragement. And I know to some people they're just words, but those words turn into people, you know, going that extra mile. And Dave, the amount of times I've seen you go way over and above, you know, the call of duty as far as, you know, spreading awareness for this, the selflessness that I've seen from the both of you since I've known you. In fact, I remember the first time I proper sat down with you guys by the lake in the park, and that day, do you know what? Don't even get me emotional. You know, you guys are just beautiful souls, and I'm so blessed to know you, and I'm so glad that you're on the truth side. Because I tell you what, there's not many people I'd nominate to put forward to speak on behalf of other people. But I tell you what, I guarantee you right now, if I was to tell the chat room to put one or two, whether you would, you know, nominate Dave and Andrea to push forward and speak in for us as a community, you got my vote. You got my vote.
Thank you, Roxanne. That means an awful lot. But while we're being all loving, I'd like to say something about my husband. You know, I stand there and I listen to him talking to people, and often, you know, being bombarded with questions, and I stand in awe of his ability to be able to answer, you know, very intelligently, and now after, you know, after time of doing it, he's learned to do it with compassion and patience, and that's taken time, because you know, if we think back to Roxanne, you'll know all about this, back to Speaker's Corner a year ago or more, where there were the trolls and they would purposely be coming along and
Roxanne's gone. that Roxanne's gone. Not to say she wasn't the real Roxanne, but I get what you mean, because I definitely don't.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
Goad you, and Dave's actually he's come a long way with that, and that's not just because he's been practicing doing his activism. That's also because as a man he's grown, and so I just want to give a shout out to my husband, because he blows me away. I mean, sometimes when even on this tour he'd be talking and I actually want to start giving him a round of applause. I haven't done but he's pretty fucking awesome.
Yes, listen, I can vouch for what you're saying, Andrea. I'm somebody that is a proud recipient and the equals to what can happen when someone takes the both of yours advice. Like, when I look at my life now to what my life was, I remember, I won't go into the details, but in my life, I look at it like it was a profound conversation I had with you both and Harry, and I got some, what I consider some life-changing advice that it didn't take me 24 hours to implement. But it within, like, I'm looking over the course of a year and I'm going, wow, do you know what? You get to junctions in your life, don't you? And you either go right, I mean, you know, baby go left, baby go right. And I went, you know, here, but for the grace of the Most High am I. And there you are, selflessly giving someone like me advice. Who am I to look a gift horse in the face? Does that make sense? Because it was almost like, look, here's what won't work. Not telling you what to do, but here's pretty much what's not going to work. If you don't do this, it's not going to happen for you. And the words that really, really stick with me, I remember I was in the garden and you were like, yeah, okay, yeah, we've been lied to, yeah, yes for that, yep, okay, we've clocked that, now what? And initially those words haunted me. I was scared of that because I didn't know. Now what? I don't know. And that's when I realized, oh dear, I brought a whole load of baggage in from my sleep life. And I have not even slowed down. I've slowed down to look at the lie, but not slowed down to look in here.
Absolutely. And I think that's more importantly why we're doing what we're doing. Well, you know, mostly Dave, but why we're telling people about the truth, because it's about leading people back to themselves. You know, yes, of course, we want them to see the lies, but we also want them to get to know their own truth. And Jack said a few moments ago, he said, I know there is a creator, and it's that knowing. It's to start to know, have your own discernment when it comes to your life decisions, about the things that are happening around you, and you know, that's a journey. That's a journey, and it does mean that you go and do some of that inner work, and you know, and for a lot of us, that's quite tough. You know, and it certainly has been for Dave and I. You know, we've had this last year has been a tough year for us, and I'm not playing the violin or anything. Again, I go back to this: life is not happening to me; it's happening for me. And you know, and the flat Earth is definitely a massive part of that.
Yeah, I second that. Well said, my darling. Thank you for delving into that. And I'm sorry to put you both on the spot there. I didn't mean to just kind of go blang, but I think credit where credit's due. And you know what? You're living proof of the fact that there is a happy ending. There can be a happy ending if you're willing to put in the work. It won't happen if you keep blindsiding it. You've got to kind of take responsibility for ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Accountability. Even though one guy at the end of the conversation tried to say we have to be accountable for everything that's going on here. That was his final comment. Was
everything's our fault. We're the problem.
Which I don't agree with.
But we also the we are.
Absolutely.
I've got people in the chat room going, great couple. Shout out to Dave and Andrea. Like, massive love for you guys in the chat room as well. Yeah, shout out to Mighty Atom as well. I think Mighty Atom, if I'm right, just say yes. I think Mighty Atom, you were at Kidderminster, if I'm correct. So I think you may have possibly met Mighty Atom in person. If I'm correct, I do believe you were at Kidderminster. I won't say what your real name is, because if it is you, then I know who you are. So I won't say your real name. Martin, Ellen, and Josie as well. Thank you so much for your love and support in the chat room for the guys on the camper van. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. Bob from Globebusters. He said he's only in Flat Earth for the awesome money. Right, so guess we're having a little chit chat with Bob after this then, won't we? Nice. Nice. Cold Steel Truth, thank you so much. And Rhonda King as well. Bless you, Rhonda. She says, you've got me in tears. Waking up is beautiful. Kieran Franny as well. Thank you so much for being here as well. And Toadie as well. Lovely to see you. Jennifer as well. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for the support in the chat room. Flat Earth Subgenius. Cheers. Thank you so much for being in the chat room as well. He says, National Memorial Garden says, I'm proud of you all. It sounds a little condescending, but I really am including Jack the Transporter plus Lisa, etc., a lot more. So he's trying to say like all of you. Yeah, all of you. And that's his name from Jack. Jack the Transporter. Jack the Transporter. You have a label. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? It's been, obviously we had him and Nora and we're looking forward to Sven, but it has been really nice to just be the four of us, plus Alexander obviously, but the four adults to just kind of get to know each other. Have that little room with them, and you're really good. Well, this is an opportunity to say to Lisa and to Jack, they've done 2.5 months. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 months. Just great respect, really.
Yeah.
Keeping it going.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. Well said, my darlings. And shout out as well to Mark Sargent. He says, hello from the US West Coast. Hope everyone in the FE tour is doing well. Long live Flat Earth. Shout out, Mark. Cheers. Cheers for the donation, Mark.
What he wrote.
Love it. I now yield the floor. Sorry, Jason, for just like not giving you absolutely any airtime at all there.
No, not a problem. No, I was quite interested. Look, let's move on and go to St. Peter's Church, the square there? About that. How did that it all transpire? Because it seemed fantastic.
Well, we managed to get just outside the square again, which was a real bonus. We were told that if we parked there, our van could be taken by the authorities because they were looking to hit the street. But Jack thought what we'd do is we'd just unpack, get set up, and then he'd come and maybe move the van. An hour after we'd set up and been yabbering, I was like, oh, Jack still hasn't gone to move the van. But that all turned out to be fine. I think we picked up a £10 parking fine. That's all on that. €10, I should say. But we walked onto the square, and almost immediately, both Jack and I were like, this is a good spot because they got these wooden trading shops that have been set up there, maybe like a winter market type thing. They were all closed. So we were like, we'll just set up right in front of these. But I don't know if it was there straight away or just before this as we arrived there, but there was a police car not 10 meters from us. And so Jack and I are just setting up. I'm sure he's doing the same, but I'm just like trying to ignore the police car totally, and we just go for it. But my pulse is racing because I'm like, shit, we're going to get told to move on or what have you. But we're just finishing putting up the last tires and stuff, and I noticed the car just slowly driving past us. I don't even want to look to see whether they catch my eye. Just let them go. And we were like, damn, we got away with it. So I immediately started to hit chalk. Jack was in conversation almost straight away with someone from his own like region from his own neighborhood, right?
Yeah, Slovenian guy.
I mean, how's that for a homecoming? The man's speaking in his own language, flat smacking in his own language, and that was just like a liberation for him, because you know all these great ideas he has. Sometimes it's a little hard to transpose into English for him. So being able to do it in your own language.
Yeah, I was flying.
Great start.
You were
Flying from the off. So and the conversation started coming thick and fast. I was as I was writing, some people were saying yes, we know. I mean, this was great. I shook a few people's hands, and then the conversations just started getting thicker and more frequent. We were in a great spot there. People were looking, people were interested.
Fantastic.
And a really nice, because I only arrived obviously 2 hours later after Alessandro left, but just a really nice feeling in the square.
In the square, yeah.
Completely different to Milan.
Very different. Milan was mayhem.
Yeah, completely different. And people were stopping and looking and reading and then asking questions and just a really good.
And that building, by the way, that cathedral, whatever it's called, is unbelievably magnificent. I mean, it is of an order of magnitude. And I was saying to people, what a great point of reference. But I was saying to people, the people who built this beautiful building, they knew the earth was flat. So it was a great point of reference.
Agreed. It was brilliant. And I loved like you said, the vibe there. It just looked like the vibe there was right. It was just perfect.
I like
comfortable. We could have, was it not for the light and just general exhaustion, we could have probably gone on for another 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, towards the end there. Towards the end there, where it was getting late, getting a bit dark there, and you had the two guys. One was an Elon Musk fan, and you had his mate there, and I could feel his mate was like you could see the cogs were turning, and you could see that I think they just had they just met or something. They'd only just met and I'd like to think that there's an extra conversation going to happen between them two, because one was like he wasn't bloody having it, the other one, like the Elon Musk fan. I don't think you were going to get through there whatsoever. Totally blind to worshipping Elon.
The two close-up conversations you would have got from the stream is after Lisa handed me the phone, and I held it so close to the conversation. Then both this young lady, I think her name was Micah, and then the next conversation with a guy called Zane and Frank. Frank was the Elon Musk guy, and that was quite hilarious actually. But Zane and this young lady, Micah, were like genuinely grateful for having given them some fantastic information to go and chew over. Micah, the young lady, said, I'm grateful to you. It's been great. Something I can't remember. I'm paraphrasing, but you haven't tried to force anything on me. You've just given me a whole lot of ideas, and my favorite catchphrase of the moment is, "I'm not here to convert you, but I'm here to alert you."
Yes.
You've been Yeah. Someone offered to make a T-shirt on the Iron Realm Media thing. I don't know if Adam or one of his pals offered to make a T-shirt of that. I think we need to get that knocked up T-shirt.
Do you know what? That just brings me to a brilliant question that's been asked in the chat room. He says, I've got a question for you all on the tour van as well. Knowing what you all know now, if you went back in time before knowing what you know now, what comment from a stranger would trigger you into researching it? And that struck me there, because it was almost like what you were saying there would trigger me into looking into it.
Good. Well, what comment?
Depends on the person.
Yeah, but what would trigger you, I think, is the question.
What triggered me was when Russian Vid said, "Don't take my word for it. Look into it for yourself. I don't even need you to take my word for it. Just go take a look and change my mind."
But as I say to people, it was for me definitely was the curvature formula, because I do enjoy numbers and maths and stuff. I do enjoy that kind of thing, and I spent a lot of time as a kid. So you know, that curvature formula made no sense to me when I applied it to my view of the world as I traveled around the world. That was the thing that put me in my track. So I do try and offer that to people quite often. You know, I stick around the water level and then the curvature formula. Apply that in your world, and things will start to fall apart. Your ball will start to crumble.
Yeah. I think that's
someone said look into it or else. That would trigger them.
Yeah,
I did have someone while you're talking about triggered. I thought you were going to talk about this chap Wildstar was talking to Zane and Frank. I had some dude barge in on the conversation.
He was
German dude, yeah, it was. Barge in on the conversation and try and muscle me off. You know, he was trying a little bit of speaker's corner style trolling. Yeah, actually,
his words were, "You're not falling for this, are you?
You're not falling for this, are you? Really, this flat Earth thing, are you?"
And then he stood there, just sort of smiling for a few minutes, and then took a coin out his wallet.
Turns out it was €2.
€2, and put it in Dave's hand and went.
No, he said, "Where's your hat? I want to. This is the best comedy or something."
And then walked away.
Yeah, but I was sorry he didn't stay for some more sort of because it's more about, you know, in those cases like, okay, well, you tell me what is your best proof that what's your best experiment that you live on a spinning ball, my friend. Anyway. From the chat room, I'm enjoying chat room questions, by the way. I think it's nice to have their input and their contribution to this. I was thinking that earlier today, so I'm grateful to bring it.
And I want to remind everyone, if you do want to pop your questions in, please just put them in the chat room and I'll convey them across to the crew on the camper van. Because I think it's nice getting, you know, these bits and pieces, your points of view on them. I've really enjoyed that. He said, he said, sorry, I think I got it wrong as well. Flat Dude says, thanks, Roxanne. I meant by my question, what could someone say that would snap you out of your, right. He says, what could someone say to you that would snap you out of your research into the fact that you've been lied to about where you live? Sounds like a trick question, doesn't it? So I'm like,
what the fuck? I mean, there's nothing. There is absolutely nothing. You know, the certainty with which I get, you know, people do come and take the piss, right? They do like want to mock at you and stuff like that. And of course, I've got my wife there, I've got my child, and I've got my kind of life. You know, I've taught, you know, my whole life is right here, and this is the moment of my life right here. So, I have put it all on the line. You know, I have, you know, there is the certainty. As I say to people, you know, I never kind of bought into like the Jesus archetype, you know, the Christ archetype, the dude who went around and turned over the money changer tables and stuff like that. But I do now, and I say this quite comfortably, that, you know, I think this is what we are called to do, is to discover this truth, empower ourselves, and go out there and spread that good word, you know. And I think I'm so certain about that. I'm willing to make myself look like an idiot, because that's, for some people, that's including some of my family, including probably my father, but you know, is that I'm willing to do that because I'm so certain that there is nothing. I mean, of course, there's loads we've still to learn, but the idea that I'm going to learn something that sort of says, oh no, well, there's nothing more I can learn, or I need to like let go of my belief that, or this idea that it's a level plane, or that the globe, the rock in space could be real or something. No fucking way.
No bit.
Say in your neck.
Yeah, it's going to have to be something pretty huge, and it would probably have to be some sort of disclosure. But you know, I think that then that's a bit of a
even a disclosure from the system.
Yeah, no, not a disclosure from the system. But yeah, I mean, it would have to be something way metaphysical that I'm just not blown away by it.
But then we would go off in that direction.
Exactly.
Travel, you know, with new information, absolutely, and follow the leads and stuff, but not to stop, you know, because I'm so, you know, I was stuck on the sofa for many years of my adult life, you know, just absorbing the sport and Netflix and porn and all that sort of hoo-ha. and I've thrown all of that away because I cherish going as much as is reasonable, within balance.
I think that's the misconception with people who are still asleep, is that they don't, you're not just taking this sort of this avenue because we've watched a few YouTube videos and now we're like, oh well, let's believe in that.
No, we feel it.
It's been a really difficult journey, a wonderful journey, because I wouldn't turn back for anything, but equally it's been tough, and we've had to leave things behind for it.
Walk over coals. So
no, it's not something that we take lightly. In fact, the guy that spoke to Dave after the 20 students, he was like, oh well, he's watched enough of the YouTube videos on Flat Earth to know that it's it's not true. And I was trying to say to him, well, actually, the amazing stuff that's there, and it's only a mechanism for people to get that information across. But there is just such amazing stuff out there, and but with that comes a whole emotional experience. It's not just oh, we watched a few YouTube videos and now we're converted.
Add something? Just because I know we got people like Mark, where we had people like Mark. Mark Sergeant was in the chat a little while ago, and Bob from Globusters. And like when I first got into Flat Earth, when I first started researching Flat Earth in mid 2015, there wasn't the depth of science research, of well-read, intelligent people bringing. There was, of course, but not like there is today. So for me, that I have sit behind me, I have people that are putting incredible intelligence down and laying down these either experiments or science about how these things work and so on, Jeranisms, and I don't even want to start naming all of those people, but Dave deep inside the rabbit hole, my friend, and that's a little inside joke, but for me, there is so many intelligent people behind this now and part of this now. So it's not just me, and it's not just my own intellect, that I bring to bear and that I'm representing. There's a whole lot behind me. So when I hand out a flyer and say there's some great references here, I'm sure about that. We don't necessarily have to agree on all of the theoretical aspects of what we think this world is, but the kind of the sincerity, the depth of intellect, and so on that's behind me is for me unchallengeable. I think we're rock solid. We're in that first part of 2015. I was like, oh, is it me or whatever. Now someone coming into this and finding these resources, we've done a lot of mileage. There's a lot of stuff that people can sit back on. So
right,
I'm fairly sure that we're not going. I don't think that I'm gonna. I don't think that I see myself ever giving up knowing what I know, because it feels to me so concrete.
Yeah. Well put. Thank you. Cheers. And yeah, to any of you that want to ask questions, pop them in the chat room.
There is a good question there from Cold Steel Truth for Dave, and it's one that we've all got our challenges, and he says, which question does Dave find most challenging to answer in defending the flat Earth? So which one's your toughest question?
Oh, sometimes I used to struggle a bit with the eclipse one, but I think I gave a pretty good answer on that question today. You know what? That's a great question. If you wouldn't mind giving me like 24 hours to think about an answer to that, because I don't have an immediate good answer for you. I know that there are questions I struggle with. In fact, there was one that came up today, and I thought, I'm going to give this answer, but I feel like I'm kind of blagging it a little bit because my knowledge isn't as deep as it could be.
Right.
So sometimes I'm thinking, okay, there's people in the chat that are going to go, he's saying this, why isn't he going down that avenue? Or
it's in the moment.
Yeah, I've not necessarily grasped the entirety of the knowledge and the information that some of the the flat earth geniuses have worked out. So there are those questions, and that's a fantastic question. I'm going to think about it and give you hopefully you'll come back tomorrow and I'll give you a more thoughtful answer about that. There are questions, there are areas that I think, shit, I've still got more homework to do. I'm representing the flat earth. I need to deliver as well thought out and concise answers as are available to us at the moment. And I know that I'm not there in every sphere. So thanks for that question.
Awesome. Cheers, Cold Steel Truth. And to everybody that's watching and interacting in the chat room, we massively appreciate all of your support. And please don't forget to familiarize yourself in the description, where you will find an abundance of channel links and links for how you can donate to help us keep the wheels turning across Europe.
Okay, and talking about donations, since our amazing donation that we had a couple of days ago, and then Mark coming through very promptly. Thank you, Mark. Donations have slowed down now considerably. Almost come to a standstill, except for Nathan. Thank you very much, Nathan. Just received your donation. That really is appreciated. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Also, there is we do get small donations from the t-shirts, the sweatshirts, and that. So I still see that they are still being sold.
Good.
Which is good. Also, someone bought a sweatshirt and a t-shirt. Was it last night or the day before? So thank you very much for that as well. It will be a good look on you.
Nice.
So
Adam was very good at saying to people, hey, get on, dig your hand in your pocket, find a couple of quid, a couple of dollars or whatever, and throw it into the tin if you don't mind. And of course he's not here, so I'll probably have to just say, if you can spare a few bucks, please help out. I know the tires, the front tires.
I was just going to mention it. Yeah, they've gone again. We've got tracking problems, I believe, on the front wheels. And our
gas canister is running a bit low, so we can only run one cooker hob at a time, and we're going into some of the coldest regions soon, so we're going to need to replace the gas canisters pretty soon. So yeah, we still need a few quid to keep it going. We don't get like the joker that we got in the square today, who gave us €2. It's probably not going to go that far, but anything you can spare, that would be nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cheers for that, Dave.
Well, it's thinking about the tires. We've got a couple of days. You've got a kind of a day off soon, and maybe we could sort the tires before we do that journey. But we need to get on that ASAP.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. We've got quite a few miles, haven't we?
We do.
After that, all the way down to Spain.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've gone more than halfway there. So, if the last tires, because they were 2 brand new tires before we left, and if they lasted that long, like before we get the tracking sorted, another 2 tires at the front should finish us off. Should get us to the finish line.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, Lisa noted when we stopped the car here. Was it here? Was it here when she mentioned what the mileage was?
Oh yeah, now, right now.
She mentioned what the mileage was, and it was 6.
Oh no!
Yeah, it gets about, doesn't it? If it's not 3, if it's not 333s or 111s, it's that bloody 666.
You could not make it up. You could not make it up. Jason, were we having Sven? What's the word from Sven? What's Sven doing?
I haven't invited him, but he is very welcome to come in.
What was the last update you got from him?
He's got his friend to pick him up at 1 a.m. I think he said. So he's got this huge journey he has. If
I worry about this journey, Jace. This is not just as like straight cut as getting on a plane and flying into an airport. This has got so. I remember.
I've actually done the journey. I did it. A long time ago. I used to be a machine plasterer in Germany, and I drove to Frankfurt. There wasn't much work going on there, and then I head up to Berlin, where there was tons of work. You know, like so. I've done.
Is that where he's meeting the tour, though? Where is he meeting the tour?
He's I believe it's Frankfurt, isn't it? Frankfurt in Germany.
Right.
Frankfurt.
Yeah. Right. So
it's been tomorrow. We'll be tomorrow. So he can join us as soon as he gets in, or we'll.
Sven said Frankfurt. Sven's in the chat room. Yep, Frankfurt. So Sven is going to be on like a mission possible, not impossible, mission possible, to go by land and sea to Frankfurt. Good on you, Sven. Best of luck.
Looking forward to seeing you.
What does it Gary say? What is it Gary says? Jason goes, good luck. What does that mean, really, when Gary says that?
Don't ask us what that means, but good luck.
It's a little private joke Gary told us there. We'll tell you guys on the tour bus after we go live what that actually means when Gary says good luck. So watch out when Gary says good luck to you. We'll let you know what he really means, yeah?
Yeah. Naughty man.
Shout out to Gary John Heather, who I don't see in the chat room, but shout out to him because he'll be watching on a playback. Love it. And Amanda Globe Denier. To anyone that's up for Discord, there is a Discord link in the description. There'll be one in the chat room if you want to go over to the Global Lounge into Discord. It's a troll-free zone. Lovely place where you can talk to people that are like-minded. And I think Sven will be giving some kind of updates, video, pictures, and he seems to be pretty on it as far as giving updates in Discord. So if you want like the inside exclusive plug on the up-to-date happenings with the tour, if I was you, if you don't want to be on the inside, like on the know, click that Discord link and be a part of that Discord, because Sven's about to embark on a journey. And if I know Sven, if any of you are on Discord, I think he's already like put uploads of videos and pictures on there anyway, so he keeps everyone well up to date. So if you want to be like right on the button as far as exactly what's going on with the tour, go over to Discord, familiarize yourself there, say hi to everybody, and then you'll be completely exclusively up to date
in the loop.
And see Germany get schmacked. I made this video this morning. I tagged a wall where we were doing the laundry, and and I thought I'd just do a little piece to camera and say, hey, see you guys soon, we'll be there soon. And I scroll down, I sort of pan down my little Earth Flat script, and then I'm doing my little walk away, and I notice this advertising hoarding that says just one word on the whole big advertising. It just says schmacked. I couldn't help but finish the video with that. If anybody's got 30 seconds to spare, you should go and check it out. It's probably my second or third last video that I posted, so it's it's perfect. Schmacked.
Love it. So where are we going to be at over the next couple of days?
Okay, so
all of those that I don't know and haven't seen, where are we at?
So Frankfurt tomorrow, so that's Friday. And then we're going to be going over to Luxembourg. We've got quite a few people going to Luxembourg, so I heard. And the following day after that is Paris, France. Now, Paris is going to be at the Eiffel Tower. And we won't get problems with the police, I assure you.
It says famous last word. Famous last word.
So good luck on that one. So
can I say, Jason? Sorry, it's worth mentioning that the Paris sort of situation is pretty. It's it's obviously a very large structure, and we may not necessarily be right underneath it. And if people are looking to find us, they may struggle a little bit, depending on exactly where we set up.
I would say
yellow vests are pretty prominent there as well.
One of the legs will be near one of the legs, and they're not going to miss us. It is a big place, but we're going to be holding up the banners. So hopefully that people can see us.
Shout out to Tonlit as well. He says just follow the yellow jackets in Paris.
Yeah.
Shout out to the yellow jackets. They've been going for months now.
But
that's something that we may end up seeing as we watch you go through those cities, is that you may end up coming across the yellow jackets. But hey, most of the yellow jackets know that NASA's freaking liars. So we do have a common denominator with these people. We all know that NASA lies and talks crap. So it's a good look.
Yeah, so just to say about Paris, then I've got about 5 people going so far that are going to be years in Paris. You know,
exciting.
Wonderful. It'd be lovely to have some additional friends along. That would be very, very exciting for us.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that's going to be coming out throughout the next few dates coming up on the tour. The next few days sounds exciting. Germany and France. Germany and France, here comes the Globe Live Tour. Beep, beep. Coming to a town near you. It's a good look, isn't it? It's a great look. Shout out to Lunderground in the chat room and Seeking Starwater, Doc Michael, Voynich as well, Vertec, and to Clive Albert. Lovely to see you too as well. Tonlit as well, Lenny Mears. Lovely to see you as well. Everyone loved the schmecked. Schmecked, 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 schmecked. That's all I can see in the chat room just now. And to Babel as well. Lovely to see you too. Rhonda King and Kimmy Spreadbra. Lovely to see you as well, darling. And Plaska as well. Lovely to see you. Plain old Dave too. And Josie as well. Sorry if I've missed anyone out. We've been going for just over an hour now. I'm ready to wrap up if everyone else is. If there's nothing else everyone wants to mention, we want to let you go, guys. We want to let you have a nice evening. And yeah, is that about it? Are we good?
All good here.
Yeah, we had a good day today.
A fantastic day. Really good
Yay.
day. Actually. You know, and Munich was quite welcoming in that sense. So shout out to the Munichians, because I would say,
what do you call it?
No, I've just made that up as a new term that we've got for them.
Because with the
Frankfurtians.
Frankfurtians.
Yeah, the Frankfurtians. Yeah.
Love it.
Tomorrow. But no, it was a great day, and we gelled well. We pulled it out and up, sharing this content out, and a special thanks to those who've got a few coins to spare. Thanks.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Thank you so much as well, Steve Fowler, Jude, and Esh News as well, Concerned Citizen, Effie Mex as well, and to Emanuela as well. Lovely to see you all watching as well. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us here as we catch up with Dave, Andrea, Jack, Lisa, and the sleeping Alexander the Great, and Jason Disbury and myself. This has been the Global Euro Tour update for today. Please make sure you tune into Trinity 4, Jason of the Disbury, hit the notification bell, and just keep your eyes on the prize, because sometimes people aren't being notified. So just keep checking and you'll see the live go on eventually. All right.
Sounds good.
Were you going to show that clip from earlier today?
I am. It's all lined up and ready to go.
Good. Juicy extra bits. Lovely. Okay, you share that. And is that what we're going to play out with, or are we going to play that and then play what we played in with? So then everyone can migrate over to Discord.
Yes, I can do that.
Cool. Lovely. All right, Dave, Andrea, and Jack, and sleeping Lisa and Alex. Safe travels, my darlings. I love you lots. Please be safe. We so love you for what you're doing. You've no idea. You're so massively appreciated. Words fail me. Thank you.
Back at you.
Double thumbs up.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. No.
Fantastic. And we'll share that now. And go.
Tell me your name.
Andre.
Anthony. Andre. I'm Dave. What's your question? What's your name? Yere. What's your question?
The person said, when the Earth is flat, why you can't see from the Eiffel Tower, Paris, the Empire State Building.
because the atmosphere is full of water. So we can only see 5 miles. Maybe on a clear day, we can see 20 miles. And when you put a powerful telescope to your eyes, you can maybe see 50 miles. Yeah? But simply because the atmosphere is full of water. And when I walk away from you, the further and further I go away, the smaller I become. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes? So that's called angular resolution. The further something is away, the smaller it seems. Yeah, a train that's 5 miles down the track is tiny. 1 mile down the track, bigger. When it's right in front of you, huge. Yes?
Yeah.
The same is true with the Eiffel Tower. You go away from the Eiffel Tower 10 miles, it's small. 100 miles, you can't see it anymore. It's simple like that. That's called angular resolution and perspective. Now, when I'm low down to the ground, I can only see the Eiffel Tower when I'm close. When I go high up in the ground, high from the ground, maybe in a plane, I can see the Eiffel Tower from 100 miles away. That's why on a ship, they put the crow's nest at the top, or a lighthouse, they put the light at the very top, because the higher you go, the further you can see. In a plane, you can see 200 miles across the Mediterranean, ships all around the Mediterranean. But if you go down to the harbor, you can only see 5 miles. On a rainy day, 1 mile. Do you see that? So it's all about the atmosphere, it's all about perspective, and all about angular resolution. Is there any other questions? You're all from, where are you guys from? Switzerland.
Yes.
Switzerland, right? Now, Switzerland is a very mountainous country.
Yes.
And they say Switzerland, the Alps, maybe it's 5,000 meters above sea level. Yeah? So let's say 5,000 meters. But which sea level? If you live on a ball, then there's a different sea level for America, a different sea level for Italy, a different sea level for Africa, because it's on a ball. Or is it always one sea level, and a little bit of tide move up and down, but one sea level? And everything on Earth is either 100 meters above sea level, 500 meters above sea level. It's the same sea level. If you think about a swimming pool, Olympic swimming pool, it's 50 meters long and it's level. Yeah, you think about a big lake like Lake Lucerne or something like that. If your friends are standing 5 miles on the other side of Lake Lucerne, you can see their feet. On a clear day, you can see their feet because the water is level. The Suez Canal, 100 miles, 120 miles long, and it's level from one side to the 120 miles. So when is the water ever going to bend? Water doesn't bend like that on the outside. Water has to stay inside of a cup or in a lake or in a Mediterranean Sea. This is how water works naturally. We know that. Yeah. Now the science that shows that Earth is turning, that's spinning, that's been hidden because they can't prove that Earth is turning. We can see the sun, the moon, the stars, they're all moving above our heads, but that doesn't make that the ground is moving. Because of football, a soccer ball is round, it doesn't make the football pitch round. The football pitch has to be flat. Otherwise things will fall off. If the football pitch was made like this, like a dome, then the ball would roll off the side. Yeah. That's how it works. It has to be flat. Otherwise it's going to roll off. You think about it. Can you imagine really that you can walk underneath a ball and not fall off, or that a ship can sail underneath a ball and not fall off? I mean, gravity would have to be so strong to hold a ship to the underside of a ball. Can you imagine walking on the deck of that ship? It would be crushing you upwards. And yet a butterfly can fly off, no problem at all, but the gravity is holding a big ship down like that. You see, we've been lied to about who we are and what we are. And what they want to do is, they know people don't believe in religion anymore. I don't believe in religion. But they want to give you something else, this idea that maybe there's aliens, maybe there's asteroids, maybe you're going to get wiped out by something that's coming down the line. Well, the truth is that this place was created for you perfectly, but our government has lied to us about who we are and what we are, so that you will be a slave, that you will pay taxes, that you will go to authority and say, oh, you protect me, you tell me what to think. Well, I'm offering you the truth that you are actually the Most High's creation, that you are the most important thing here. And anyone who tells you anything else is trying to rob you of your divinity, of your sovereignty, of the truth of who you are. Yes. So that's why you need to look into flat Earth. My friends, I've got some research and some information for you. Do your own research, work it out. Planes are flying level. Everything is strata. Everything, gases, pressure, all works in levels, in strata like this on the Earth. So we are the center of this place, and you are the most important thing. Yes.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
My YouTube. My YouTube channel is Trinity4. Trinity4. Check me out. Check out my friends. I've got some more flyers here. You can take some information. There's a great app that you can buy on Google Play or on the App Store. It's called the Flat Earth, Sun and Moon Zodiac app. You see how the seasons work. You see how the lights work, how the sun and the moon can work on a flat earth. Go check that out. Free your own mind. I'm not trying to sell you a religion. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm got to be thinking for you. You need to think for yourself, and you need to take back your own mind, because when you were 5, 6 years old and the teacher says you live on a spinning ball, they were robbing you of the truth. Because if we live on a spinning ball, we're traveling at 1,000 miles an hour right now, and you can't even feel it. You've been robbed of your true senses, and I'm traveling around Europe with my friends to try and give people back the truth about who they are. Any questions? Any questions at all? Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Yes, the earth is flat. Thank you so much, brother. Have a fantastic life. You've got a great mind. Fantastic.
Okay. Download the app, show the others. That's it. Develop your mind. Knowledge your mind.
Download the app. Free your mind. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
All the best. Have a great life, ladies. Bye-bye. Don't forget, it's Trinity4 on YouTube. Trinity4. Thank you. We are coming to you here just outside Munich on the Global Euro Tour. We are going around Europe, my friends, flat smacking the heck out of our fellow human brothers and sisters. Flat rubbing, gently initiating people with the idea.
That is the nicest where the kids are alone.
Yeah.
Flat packing.
Yeah. Flat packing, flat stroking.
Yeah, flat.
Gently initiating the idea. And there you go. Look into the app. I think it's a useful tool. Thanks very much for all your support. Catch you later.